Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog .stampwithelaine.com and welcome to my 2018 12-week Countdown to Christmas series. This is published every Friday until the 7th of December. Sadly, today is the last in my 12-week Countdown to Christmas series, and I have a money wallet for you using the Signs of Santa photopolymer stamp set. And there is a set of coordinating dies called the Santa Signpost Framelit dies, which if you purchase both together as a bundle, it will save you 10%. What's fab about these dies is that they will cut out the images from the designer series paper. These are just stamped and coloured. This is the Santa's Workshop Specialty Designer Series paper. They're £13 a pack of 12 by 12 sheets. Now, there's a slight flocking on it, so it's raised. These are the designs. Aren't they gorgeous? And this is the reverse. And you can see that these dies will fit over the images on the paper, and you can die cut them out straight away. Also the elves. It even die cuts the little wagon here and the presents. And this one cuts out Santa. I didn't stop there because once I die cut those, I thought, well, I may as well cut out the rest of the sheet of paper so that I'd have lots and lots of images. So I've hand cut those, and you can see they're in opposite directions. It's a mirror image. So I even cut out the sleigh and the presents and these candy canes, the elves with the train, and then I put them in little dish like this to make them easier to access. So to make the wallet you need a card base, any colour that you can pick out from the designer series paper. These are Basic Black, Coastal Cabana, Crush Curry, Early Espresso, Garden Green, Poppy Parade or Smoky Slate. Obviously you don't want a black Christmas card, but you can choose any of the other colours, and I'm making this one in Poppy Parade, so you need that cut at 9 3/4 by 8 1/4 inches. In metric that's 24.8 by 21 centimetres. With the long side on top, you score at 3 1/4 inches, 7 1/4 inches, and in metric that will be 8.2 centimetres and 19.7 centimetres. I'll just burnish those score lines. On the wider panel, you put that at the top and score just at 4 1/8. Just make a little mark there, and that is really to help you find the centre of the cardstock. I'll get back to that in a minute. Then you need a piece of designer series paper cut at 3 inches by 8 inches. In metric that's 7.6 by 20.3, and a narrower piece cut at 2 1/4 inches by 8 inches. That's 5.7 centimetres by 20.3 centimetres. You need a piece of Whisper White that's been cut at 3 1/2 inches by 7 5/8 inches. That's 8.9 centimetres by 19.4 centimetres. And again you need your trimmer, and with the short side on top you score at 1 1/4 inches. and in metric that will be 3.2 centimetres. You'll also need the layering oval framelets, and there are 8 in the set. You need the second to largest one and the third to largest one. You need some garden green scrap and whisper white scrap to cut out the label here. It's best to use the adhesive foam strips for the closure. Your ordinary dimensionals is not strong enough. Your Big Shot and magnetic platform, Tuxedo Black Memento ink, if I can find it, and garden green ink, Poppy Parade textured weave ribbon. So let's get started. Now on the longer panel here, the wider panel here, remember we made a little score line at the halfway mark at 4 1/8 inches. Oh yes, and you need a 1.5 inch circle punch. So we're going to punch out a little finger hole here, and then with the designer series paper on the wider piece, you want to hold it up to the cardstock like so, keep it firm, and then punch. And I want a larger hole, so I'll punch again. So that I can leave a even rim there. Now that's not quite right, so I'm just going to trim it a little bit, this end. Bring in my silicone mat, and I'm using some fast fuse because there's flocking on the reverse and it might not adhere as well unless I use a fairly strong adhesive. Put adhesive on the shorter panel as well. Now you want to make sure that your paper is in the same direction, so it's best to close it like so, just to make sure that it's right. Next you want to put adhesive on, and you want to put adhesive on the bit where the notch has been cut. And there's a reason for that, because if you put it on this panel you will have excess adhesive, and then when you come to shutting the box, the wallet, then you close the whole lot. Okay, so bring that up and seal it. Next you want to die cut your label for the front, so make your sandwich, magnetic platform, base cutting plate, cardstock, dies face down. You want the smaller oval for the whisper white and the larger oval for the garden green. Put your top cutting plate on and then run it through the Big Shot. So I'll do that off camera. There are my die cut pieces. Now this bit is the insert for going into the wallet. So I want to do a bit of stamping on there first. So I'm going to stamp the sentiment in Tuxedo Black Memento ink. Pop a bit of glue on these images I've die cut. I've stamped North Pole on the signpost. Then bring in my wallet, insert that there, Make sure it's right on the fold. Then put adhesive on there. I'm not gluing the lower portion so that there is some movement. Okay, so that's the inside of the card done. Now we want our foam adhesive strip. So this is a bit too long, so I'm just going to cut that bit off. Just make sure that's centered. And pop the foam adhesive strip underneath. Make sure it's shy of the flap. And then I want another piece, maybe in the middle. Pop that on. Oh. Make sure it's the right way round, so that adhesive is on the lower half and not on the top half. Okay, to finish it, you can tie a bow to keep it closed from prying eyes. Adjust the bow and then snip off the excess. That's my final Christmas project for the series. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!